Well, hey everybody. Hey, this is Pastor Martin. Come on in tonight. I know it's a little late, but come on in anyway, and I'm going to share some with you very brief tonight. I pray and trust it'll bless you as you're coming in tonight. And I know, sometimes I get these little things that come upon me, and so I want to share it while it's fresh on my mind to encourage somebody on this Tuesday night. Whether it's the East Coast, the West Coast, whatever coast you're looking, I want to encourage you tonight and just share some things with you that I believe will bless you as we're sharing. So as you come in, please just let me know where you are tuning in from, where you're watching from, and as we're sharing tonight for just the next few minutes, I know it'll bless you. So I want to just share with you tonight, a lot of times we are thinking about and talking about what we have and looking for our purpose in life and our destiny in life and trying to figure out, and we're waiting on other people to help us and enhance us and to approve of us, to validate us, to put things and to say things and all type of things. But let me just share with you on this Tuesday night and this late inspiration that, many times, if we really think about it, God has given to us everything that we already need. It's in us. It's a matter of it being cultivated. It's a matter of us allowing God to bring it out of us and it to be developed so it can be a tool for his glory or for ministry or whatever, even for our everyday lives. It's already in us. We've already got it. It's already inside. And you think of this when you think of Jeremiah. When he spoke to Jeremiah, he said, I want to tell you that before you came out, I'd already ordained thee. I'd already made thee a prophet to the nations. You hadn't even got here yet, but I had already instilled and put inside of you what you were going to be. Maybe you would go through life searching, trying to find some other occupation or something you can do. But before you came out, before you were here, even before you came to know who you were really going to be, I ordained you in your mother's womb, and I already said that you were going to be a prophet to the nations. And so eventually Jeremiah found what he was supposed to do. Many of you, you've got to understand that where you are, God has already put it in you. As a matter of fact, some of you, if you take a look back on your life, just look back in your life, look back at the things that have happened to you in your life. Some of you, God has already prepared you. Some of us, he was preparing us early for the things we were going to be doing. Well, what do you mean? I remember when I'm doing this now, looking at this video, doing live, talking to you, doing things. When I look at doing voiceovers, when I look at doing video editing, when I look at doing graphics and stuff, I started that, did not know that that would be something I would be doing now at this age. But I started that when I was probably about 9 or 10 years old. My uncle started showing me those things. I used to do where I could cut out sections of tape and put it back together and cut out any mistakes that were on the tape. And then we started doing layouts for revivals with our pictures. And during that time, we were doing cut and paste. But we were doing those things, and all of those things were happening. And so I did not know that I would be doing that at this time. But God was preparing me and saying to me, what you're going to be doing, I'm already put it in you. It's a matter of you discovering what's in you already. And when it becomes a passion and it brings out, that's why sometimes we go to doing certain things and we lose interest in it. But there's certain things we do, there's a passion in us to do it. And you have a passion for it. And so God has already put it in you. And so I find that the things that I was that I thought I was just doing just to be doing them, now they have become a part of what God had already put in me. So when I start being creative, when things start coming out, that's not something that just came out of the blue. That's something that God had already instilled in me, even from a child. So some of you got to start looking back and stop waiting on people to push you. Stop waiting on people to give you something. Start using what you have. Some of us And some of you, God has given you a keen eye. You're keen as far as, you're able to sort of look at stuff, and you can discern stuff. You can look at stuff and cause things to happen. And everything that God has put in you is not necessarily something for the pulpit. And I want to keep saying that. I said a video last week that everything you do is not always directly connected to the pulpit. Some of you, God has given you talent. There's some of you, God has put in you, there's an eye in you for decoration. You can decorate stuff that some of us could never see. Some of you can put things together and make it look so wonderful, and we could never put it together like that because we don't see it. So when God has given you something to do, when God has given you something that he has allowed you and put inside of you, let's start working on what he's given us. Don't ever let anybody downplay your gift or your talent that God has given to you, because believe you me, everybody cannot do what you do. Everyone can't do what I do. There's some things that people do, I just know I can't do them. That's not my talent. That's not my ability. I haven't been anointed for that. And that's not necessarily talking about preaching or singing. There's some other things I can go and even learn how to do them, but learning how to do it and still not having a passion and it not being something that God had put in me, then sometimes it can almost be a waste of time, almost. But you've got to know what he's put in you. I found out that the things that he's put in me, I have a passion for it. Those of you that may not know me, from early on, from a young child, when they used to buy me stuff, I could take it apart and put it back together. I was somewhat of an electronics person. I just love gadgets. And I didn't know at this age that I would still love gadgets. Anybody that knows me, I am a computer type, gadget type person. Anything that has to do with electronics, video and stuff like that, that's a passion of mine. Besides preaching, I can sit in front of a computer and do editing all day. I remember doing a wedding where we had 3 cameras and they were not connected. We didn't have a switcher, and we did the wedding, and I sit down at my computer and within 2 or 3 days put that couple's video together, and you would have thought we had cameras all over the place. But that's something that's in me. That's a talent. That's a gift. I did a play, and we had 3 different cameras at different angles. And when I did the play and edited the play, I put it together, and you would have thought that we had a whole bunch of cameras all over the place with switchers. And I was able to even connect the audio, and you would never have known that we just didn't have it that way. What I'm saying to you is, when God gives you something that's already in you, start working on what's in you. Stop always trying to find something else to do or find something else for somebody else to give you or for you to do. Start working with what you have. Whatever your hands find to do it with all your might. Start using your talents and your ability to stretch out and to do those things that God has given you to do. And I believe that God will bless you to be able to do the things that you need to do. It's already in you. You don't have to look for it, search for it. You just got to work on bringing it out and allowing yourself to feel comfortable with you and who you are and who God has made you. Because if you're comfortable with who God has made you, then what will happen is when it starts coming out, you'll find that it will become natural. It's like a gift. It's like a talent that just comes out of you. It's like a person that can sing. A person that can sing, they don't worry about if they can sing. They just know they can sing. Now, those of us that can hold a note, but we may not be able to sing and hit the note right, sometimes we already humming it in our head just in case, because if that first note come out wrong, the rest of the song may be wrong. But someone that knows how to sing, they don't think twice about it. I remember my late uncle, he could sing. He said, put me in G, put me in E. And he knew all his keys, and he could hit them just right. Now me, if I'm singing, in my head, I'm already humming, because that first note's got to be right for the whole thing to flow. And then there are those that preach. They just know it's not anything they got to look through and go through. They just can preach, and that's what they do. Then you got some that graphics people. I think I saw Claude on here. Claude is a graphics person. He just knows graphics. I had him to come and show me a couple things one time, and he sits down and creativity comes out of him automatically because that's what he does. He don't have to think about how to do it. He already knows how to do it because it's already in him. So what's in you, you don't have to go through no changes. And let me share this last thing with you to understand when you know what's in you, then you are not intimidated by anybody else's talent or gift. Because if I know what's in me and I know God has already put it in me, I'm not intimidated by anybody else's talents, by anybody else's gift. I have to say to you, I'm not intimidated when it comes to preaching with anybody. I never have been, still not intimidated by anybody. I don't care how good they are, what they do. I know what God has given me. I know what he put in me early. So I'm not intimidated by anybody else's ministry, their talent, their gift. I'm not intimidated by their church. You can come to my church and preach and everybody be standing up and rolling out. Well, the next Sunday I'm going to come back and do what I do because I know what he's given me. You've got to learn when God has given you something, don't be intimidated by anything about anybody. Because when he said to Jeremiah, I ordained thee and I made thee a prophet to the nations. I don't care who else comes. You are going to be a prophet to the nations. You've got to understand what God has given you. He's given to you. No one else has it. No one else can do it. He has assigned something to you. And I want to encourage you, whatever you do, start looking back in your life and see those things. Some of you are going to find out you're going to rest better. Your life is going to be filled with less drama because you have discovered what you're supposed to be doing. And once you find what you're supposed to be doing and find out what God has put in you, believe you me, nobody is going to be able to stop you from achieving and doing the things, not just that you want to do, but the things that God has ordained for you to do. I pray and trust that you've got something tonight. I pray and trust that you receive this, and I pray and trust that you'll go on and do what the Lord wants you to do because it's already inside of you. May God bless you, and may all God's best be yours. I'm out. He's given to you. No one else has it.